Yeah, let's look at this core chapter where a lot of numericals are involved and which is also more related with uh, measuring the value of the bond using a spot rate kind of a mechanism. How do I use spot rates to evaluate the worthiness of the bond? Or along with that, if I have the bond rates, how do I compute the spot rates based on the various bonds that are available? How do I come down to the calculation of the spot rates and something like that? So we'll look at those various calculation aspects involved in this. Now, whenever we talk about the return on a bond, we have three various sources. Two are very much known ones, like the coupons which the bond is going to pay. The coupon which the bond is going to pay is a source of income for the person who has invested in the bond. Along with that, the capital gain or loss. These two are the regular sources of income, and whatever the coupon that is received, there could be a reinvestment income on the coupon cash flows, because it is assumed that the coupon is reinvested at the some rate of return. So whatever is the return that it is paying, even that is one of the aspects of the return that is expected. So some of the measures which we really look at on our bond, yield to maturity is a very common measure as we have been seeing. So let me take up one small example to drive all these things. Okay, let's look at some of these numerical, or probably let me cover this part first. So the first thing we are looking at is yield to maturity. Assuming that I am holding the bond up to the maturity period, what is the return that I am expecting or that I am getting over the entire maturity of the bond? And as I have discussed earlier also, especially with the numericals specified in the US, specific to the US, look at it always on a semi-annual discounting basis. Even if it is a zero coupon bond, nothing is paid in the middle. Always, while you are doing the calculation of the present value of the bond, look at it as if it's an semi-annual kind of a payment. So even if someone is saying a 5-year maturity bond, look at it as 10 semi-annual years, 10 half years. So when you are using your calculators also, make sure that you enter N as 10 and I by Y take it as half yearly interest rather than the yearly interest. That part please make sure, because always most of the regular scenarios which we work out, they assume the payments on a semi-annual basis, unless he clearly specifies in the question that it is an annual pay coupon bond. Otherwise, you can very well go ahead with the assumption of a semi-annual pay itself. And apart from the yield to maturity, we are looking at a few more terms for that. One is the current yield. Current yield is more talking of only for this year what is the yield. We don't look at 5 years holding period or something like that. We are not looking at until the maturity period, etc. We are looking at for this particular year what is the yield. So the typical way we try to compute that is whatever is the annual coupon amount, divided by the market price at the as of today or as of the purchase date. Right, so basically for this year, if at all I am going to purchase the bond right now, what is going to be the return that I am going to get? So in the next 1 year, what all coupons am I going to get, divided by what is the price at which I am purchasing it. And if at all the bond can be called or putted, we are even looking at, probably if the bond is called, what does that mean? Instead of 5 years, we are talking of within 3 years the bond is called back. So the maturity, it's as good as the yield to maturity, but not for a 5-year period, but only for a 3-year period. That is how we evaluate yield to call or yield to put. Right? Whenever it is getting sold off, we are assuming it's same as yield to maturity, but with a reduced period. And the same thing, call or put, whatever it is, the number of periods are getting modified. Now when we have to get into some of these calculations, just to see, let's look at some of these calculations. Calculate a 20-year 1000 par value 6% semi-annual pay bond currently traded at 802.7. For this we will try to see what all we can compute. Right now we are talking about a 20-year bond. So if it is 20-year means, as a part of our calculations, I will take it as 40 semi-annual. Right? Okay, I'll put up an Excel sheet. Okay, 40 semi-annual. So N for me N is going to be 40. 1000 par value. So future value is going to be 1000. And 6% semi-annual. So 6% of 1000, which is 60, is on an annual basis. Because it's a semi-annual payment, I'll take the PMT as 30. And currently traded at 802.7. The present value, I'll take it as minus 802.07. Now, here, when I am computing the I by Y, which is nothing but the YTM. A computation of I by Y in this case, by taking these 4 values like this, will give me my YTM for the bond. Okay. So what is the YTM for the bond? I can very well say the number of periods is 40. The PMT is 30. The present value is minus 800. And the future value is 1000. Giving this, it is coming out that the I by Y, this is on a semi-annual basis. Please remember that. This is not on an annual basis. Right? Because the whatever the PMT we have taken and whatever N we have taken, both of them are semi-annual. So whatever the rate that is coming, I by Y that is coming, that is a semi-annual rate. So how do I convert it into an annual rate? Multiply it by 2. So the annual, because we have to quote it always in terms of annual rate itself. The answer should always be in annual rate. Internal calculations, they have to be modified as per the period, but the final depiction has to be as per the annualized rate itself. So here what is clearly coming out is the YTM for the bond, for the same bond, is around 8%, which means if I hold the bond until maturity period, for this entire 20-year period, I am getting a return of around 8% per year. Right? Now, how do I compute the current yield for it? Current yield is nothing but, I am simply looking at the coupon, annual coupon. So 30 is the semi-annual coupon. So annual coupon is 60 divided by the current market price. The current market price is given as this number. So probably I'll take the negative of this just to. So this is the current market price. So overall it is saying the current yield for the bond is around 7.4%. only for this particular year. Whatever is the yield for this year, it is going to be around 7.48, right? Okay. So what we are